So good morning, champions. Good afternoon. I'm hoping that you're still having a great week. So I'll just go straight to the analysis of today. So let us jump into the analysis for today. Mm, yeah. So we are in the analysis. So I'll just kickstart the analysis with yesterday I was able to analyze with you guys Euro USD together with AUD USD. So we would just I will just be analyzing other pairs that I didn't analyze yesterday. At least I want us to be analyzing at least two pairs for each session. So I'm going to start today's analysis with Euro NZ. So I'm going to start my analysis with EURNZD. So we are going to start. Let me zoom out so that you can start from a weekly time frame. So from a weekly time frame, this is the view that you can be having. So let me zoom out so that you can have a clear view of what I'm talking about. And what is we have never, I think I've never shared this pair, the analysis of this pair, so this will be the first time. But as you can see that we are having several touches to the downside at this point here, several touches, and then at the same time we are having this kind of resistance point, but still it was a downward trend, or in other words it was a bearish trend moving to the downside in this point. So and then we had a kind of a breakout out of this position. So we had a breakout at this position. So after having this breakout, we had a move to the upside up to this point, and then we had a move to the downside to this point. You can see that this point have been acting as a kind of a point of resistance. So if I can drag that, you see that this point it has acted as a point of resistance. It has also acted as a point of support several times. You can see that still the markets are playing in between this point here, where they have been having some several touches, and then the markets have been moving to the downside. So you can see that we had a touch here, then it moved to the upside, touching the trend line above. Then it moved to the downside again to have a retest of this point of support. Had a move to the upside again, and then moving, and also this region. I can also mark this region as a point of resistance. This is also a region of point of resistance. Yeah. So you can see that after touching this point of resistance, it moved to the downside again. We had some several consolidation at this point, but later broke out to the downside. And then we had some several point of support here that I won't highlight, but as you can see that we had this point of support here. The whole of this is a point of support. Broke out to the downside, and then we are having this pattern that was kind of moving to the upside. We have been experiencing this move, so you can see that the market, after touching this trend line here, it moved to the upside and then moved to the downside again, touched this point at this trend line here, and then it had a move to the upside again to this point of resistance here, had another move to the downside, another move to the upside, kind of consolidating. So that is what I can see from our weekly time frame. So let us move to the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, I think now you are able to see how the patterns are being created in this pair. You can see that we had a move to the upside. Sorry for that. So we had a move to the upside at this point here. Then the market came down. So we had several touches on this trend line, but then they broke out to the downside. Okay, sorry for that. So we had a move, a breakout out of this point. Then the market moved to the downside. So this was a great buying opportunity because we were sure that the market could reach this point. You can see that the first breakout that we had, let me check this. You can see that the first breakout that we had in this point, the market moved to the downside to touch this point of support. So this was a very clear indication that after breaking out of this point, it would go to the downside and again touch that point. But okay, that was it. So we are experiencing some small consolidation at this point. Currently, I'm expecting the market to move to the upside as we are going to see from the smaller time frame. So we are going just to go straight to the hourly time frame. So from the hourly time frame, that is where we can have a clear view of how the markets are moving. So you can see that we had a touch to the downside, second touch to the downside, then we had a touch to the upside again, then we had a touch to the upside again, moved to this point of support here, then it moved to the upside again. Then after breaking out of this position, went to the downside, had some small consolidation. So you have been sitting on that small consolidation. But for those who are scalp traders, you were able to capitalize on it, especially when you're viewing it from the hourly time frame, because the markets after touching the point of support will rise up to this point and then move to the downside again for a retest. So currently we are in this point where after having this touch, this was a clear confirmation for a buy. So currently I'm just expecting the market to continue moving to the upside. Let me just adjust this. So you can see that we are having some several tests on this trend line here, but I'm still expecting the market to still move to further up. My first take profit will be let me just highlight it using this. So my first take profit will be at this point, and then my second take profit will be at that point. So there are some of you that were kind of asking me how you are able to know how much money you are risking. Remember, we look at the number of pips that you are aiming to gain against the amount of pips that you may lose. So I'll just take this meter rule. So you can see, so I'm risking 726, yeah, 726 pips to gain up to 2045 pips. So that is what the risk for those who are using a lot size of 0.01. This means that you'll be risking 726 shillings to get a reward of total reward of about 2,100 and 155, around that price. So it is worth the risk. Remember, you should always look at your risk to reward ratio. Make sure that your risk to reward ratio is always 1 to a bigger number than 1. And that is all that I had for you for today. Just wanted to introduce you to the new pair that I'll be analyzing with you guys in future weeks to come. You can also look at the pair and hopefully you're going to make some cash. So that is all that I had for today. May the pips be with